Before tanks and trenches, before muskets and cannon fire, war was fought face to face with shields locked, spears braced, and the roar of battle echoing across the hills. In this video, we're stepping back thousands of years to the world of ancient warfare, from small skirmishes between rival city-states to massive clashes that shaped empires. We'll climb a 5-game ladder that takes you from approachable, fast-playing introductions to the most detailed, immersive simulations of ancient strategy ever made. Whether you're drawn to Roman legions or Greek phalanxes or barbarian hordes on the frontier, this is your gateway to commanding armies in the age before gunpowder. Welcome to Legendary Tactics. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Legendary Tactics to keep growing our hobby and to help promote the wonderful games on this list. And if you thought I'd be wearing a toga for this video, mercifully, this isn't that kind of video. And no, I most definitely won't sneak that into an outtake reel. Recruit. Commands and Colors Ancients. Let's start with an accessible game that also happens to be a classic. Commands and Colors Ancients takes players back to the dawn of military history, from 3000 BC to 400 AD, to relive some of the most iconic battles of the ancient world. Using the elegant and highly adaptable Commands and Colors system, this game lets you command legions, phalanxes, and cavalry across stylized historical battlefields like Cannae, Zama, and Bagradas. Players use a clever command card system to maneuver their forces as represented by wooden blocks, all while custom dice resolve combat quickly, and with a touch of drama. Along the way, it teaches things like flanking, leaders, and unit differentiation without heavy rules. The result is a fast-playing tactical wargame that balances accessibility with historic flavor, making each battle feel both cinematic and strategic. And despite its simplicity, there are a lot of historical lessons to be learned here, and the game has a surprising amount of depth. This is a great gateway into ancient wargaming, and yet it's still loved by veterans of the genre. Private. Battalion War of the Ancients. Battalion War of the Ancients is a fast-playing tactical wargame that lets you command history's greatest armies at the height of their power. Take charge of the disciplined Roman legions, the ingenious crossbowmen of the Han dynasty, the swift Greco-Bactrian cavalry, or Hannibal's daring Carthaginians, complete with mercenaries, elephants, and the elite Sacred Band. Each player chooses a scenario or builds their own, and commands their army, combining tiles with distinct abilities to form powerful formations. But the more complex your ranks, the harder they are to control. Every turn is a test of balance and timing as you issue orders, sustain your troops, and adapt to the flow of the battle. With streamlined rules, faction-specific tactics cards, and sharp, elegant gameplay for 2 or 4 players, Battalion War of the Ancients blends accessibility with strategic depth, an ancient war game where precision, timing, and leadership decide the fate of empires. Sergeant. Julius Caesar from Columbia Games. Julius Caesar from Columbia Games plunges 2 players into the heart of the Roman Civil War, where the fate of the Republic and the title of Emperor hangs in the balance. Commanding the forces of either Caesar or Pompey, players maneuver their legions across the Mediterranean, battling for control of key cities and the future of Rome itself. Columbia's signature block wargame system, Fog of War, and Hidden Strength all add layers of tension and strategy to every move. A card-driven mechanism powers movement, recruitment, and historical events, forcing players to balance timing, resource management, and bold tactical strikes. With 13 victory cities to contest and countless ways to wage your campaign, Julius Caesar delivers a fast-playing yet deeply strategic experience, perfect for fans of historical war games who crave both simplicity and rich thematic immersion. The question is, can you outthink your rival and claim the laurel wreath of Rome? Captain SPQR, using Richard Berg's Simple Great Battles of History system from GMT Games. Simple Great Battles of History distills GMT's acclaimed Great Battles of History, GBOH series, into a more accessible, fast-playing format, while keeping the tactical depth and historical flavor that made the originals classics. Designed by Richard Berg, this streamlined system dramatically simplifies elements found in the original game system, like shock and missile combat, leader activation, and elephant rules. And it removes some of the more complex mechanisms such as individual orders and rally phases. The result is a rule set that lets players experience ancient warfare in a fraction of the time, typically 1 to 3 hours per battle, without sacrificing the sense of command and tactical challenge. So why SPQR? Simple. It lets players relive the epic battles of the Roman Republic, commanding legions in tactical clashes that shaped ancient history. As the second volume in the acclaimed Great Battles of History series, SPQR refines Richard Berg and Mark Herman's celebrated system to capture the unique dynamics of Roman-era combat. The game includes 5 historical battles, each featuring detailed maps and unit counters that represent formations, leaders, and tactics of the time. With its balance of historical authenticity and deep tactical decision-making, SPQR remains one of the definitive simulations of ancient warfare, offering both intense head-to-head play and a rich exploration of Roman military strategy. Best of all, simple GBOH is compatible not only with SPQR, but also across multiple titles in the series. Whether you're refighting Chandragupta, Chariots of Fire, Hoplite, or the Devil's Horseman, the same streamlined rules apply, making it easy to move between eras and battles. It's not a standalone game, but for those who own any GBOH title, Simple Great Battles of History offers the perfect way to dive into the series with smoother play and faster pacing, ideal for both newcomers and veterans looking for a more approachable experience on the ancient battlefield. General. Great Battles of Julius Caesar from GMT Games. Great Battles of Julius Caesar from GMT Games unites 2 classic titles from the acclaimed Great Battles of History series, Caesar, The Civil Wars, and Caesar, Conquest of Gaul, into one definitive deluxe edition. This massive collection, designed by Richard Berg and Mark Herman, chronicles the rise of Rome's greatest general and the evolution of Roman warfare across more than a century of conflict. Featuring 20 historical battles, the game traces the path from the early campaigns of Marius and Sulla to Caesar's legendary conquests in Gaul, his civil wars against Pompey, and the later Roman invasion of Britain. From Bibracte to Pharsalus, Zela to Munda, each scenario challenges players to master command, morale, and maneuver in battles that shaped history. And by the way, if I've mispronounced any of these names, please help me out in the comments. Let me know the proper way to say them. The deluxe edition includes over 2,000 counters, 7 full-size maps, and a beautifully updated rulebook that brings all of these engagements under a unified system. A separate naval rulebook expands the system even further, adding another dimension to Rome's domination of land and sea. With its mix of tactical depth and historical authenticity and sweeping scope, Great Battles of Julius Caesar stands as both a tribute to the legacy of GBOH series and an unmissable experience for anyone passionate about ancient warfare. It's long, detailed, and oh yeah, it's rules heavy, and a true grognard level of ancients experience awaits you. And that's our ladder through the world of ancient warfare, from quick and accessible introductions to the most detailed recreations of history's earliest battles. If you enjoyed this journey through phalanxes and legions, make sure to check out our other ladders from World War I and World War II to Vietnam, fantasy, and more. Each one's designed to guide you step by step into the hobby. Now get out there, get gaming, and be legendary.